This is everything you need to know about today's update. I covered the patch notes for today in yesterday's video, but on the home screen of LEGO Fortnite Odyssey, you'll see this image in the top left corner that gives you a brief rundown of everything that's changing, although they didn't mention exactly what items are going to be reduced as far as the cost of stations. Something else that wasn't mentioned in those notes is going to be tomorrow's starter pack, which is going to be the Pixel starter pack that has a bunch of brand new decor items. So today, before it releases, do not forget to enter in the support a creator code CRAFTYPLAYS if you intend on purchasing it. The first change that you're going to notice was done to our hearts for health in the top left corner. That has been changed to be a direct health bar similar to what we had inside of Expeditions. You could also see two icons or three icons under there, one of which is new, and that indicates that we're on an expert mode world. And then we have our charm, and then finally our armor. But you see that drinking our smoothie here will give us a lot of that health back, but not tell us exactly how much we got. The first thing that you should actually do when you load into Odyssey is find and talk to Vengeance Jones. And that's because he has some quests that you need to complete that are very simple to do, but talking to him is what's going to help you unlock the brand new enemy that is Mask Maker Daigo. Speaking to him will complete one of the crystal clear vengeance quests, but then teach you how to get yourself cut corrupted crystals, which is very simple and only requires you to take your corrupted crystals and throw them into a gem cutter. Now, a common glitch that has existed in the game for a very long time is if you've already made these, you could drop them and pick them back up, and that will complete that quest. When it comes to creating the weapons, unfortunately that does not complete the other quest, so take all of the cut corrupted crystals that you have, find your crafting bench, and then create at least one weapon that is going to have this gem on there. And if you didn't already create one of these brand new crystals, you can go into your gem cutter and find the new recipe that is the cut corrupted crystal. Throw one of your already corrupted crystals in there, and that is what is going to unlock the cut corrupted crystal as well as the brand new rune that was added into the game and complete that Vengeance Jones quest. Now let's talk about this brand new cut crystal on our weapons. Now obviously the best weapon that you can make is going to be the plasma pistol, but throwing this cut corrupted crystal on there is going to unlock a brand new rune, which is the Spire's Wrath 4 rune. Now creating the pistol is going to make it the most overpowered, and I will show you why, but what that rune does is every few seconds, if you use your dodge tool, you will then summon the masks that track you down when you're fighting against the spires. Those very annoying masks that follow you and do damage to you, you can now use while using these pistols. Now, as far as throwing any other runes on there, the first thing that you'll notice is that you don't get 3 rune slots. You're only going to get 2 additional ones on top of the Spire's Wrath. So what I recommend throwing on here is just to go for damage if you plan on using these to kill enemies, and adding zapping tier 3 on there as well as damage tier 3, as that's going to do the most amount of damage when it comes to these pistols. Now before we fight Daigo with the brand new pistols, I want to show a few new UI changes. The first thing that I noticed was that our Hoth hand was changed from our quick bar over to the section where our charms and equipment is. In the bottom right corner, it just shows up right above our 5th inventory or 5th quick bar spot. Not the craziest of changes, but I'm sure there's a reason as to why they did that. One of the biggest changes that we got was even more inventory space when it comes to our chests. Now this chest was completely completely full of blast core, and I have even more that I could deposit in there now. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, and even on the homepage of LEGO Fortnite Odyssey, the chests got a huge buff as how much inventory can be thrown in there or how much storage they'll hold. Now, while we already got additional storage inside of the gem chest, we also got improved storage into every single chest leading up to it as well. So if you're somebody that is creating a brand new world, or you're somebody that has a ton of material, your chest now nearly doubled in size across the board and allows you to have even more room for you to throw some of these items into. I think that this overall was a great change. The final change that was announced as far as our Odyssey worlds was going to be changes to all of the resources for certain items as well as workstations again. It seems like they're making it even easier now to start a world, and I think that there is a very good reason as to why that's happening. The problem that I have with this update is it's not like they're telling us what weapons or what stations or what items are getting these changes. They're just throwing these changes into the game and not saying anything to us. I think that it would be nice if they gave us a list of what items are no longer needed for workstations or items, or what items have been reduced to be needed for workstations and other items. I don't like that they leave us in the dark to try to figure that stuff up by ourselves, because I don't need to put down more workstations to know the difference. We also got a ton of bug fixes that were mentioned on Reddit yesterday. To start from the top, the plasma pistols from Vengeance Jones quest couldn't be recycled and had low durability. That has been fixed. The HUD scaling issue was also fixed, as well as players getting eliminated while respawning if their bed was underground. There's a long list of updates or bug fixes that were done. I've talked about this before, where I think obviously it is a very positive thing that they're fixing things in the game now on a near weekly basis, but an even better thing that they're also making these UI changes. I think that this is all done in preparation for a very large scale update coming soon into Odyssey, and we can only hope that even more bugs get fixed that have lived in the game for a little bit longer than they probably should. Something we've all been waiting for is Mask Maker Daigo releasing into our Odyssey worlds, and if you go into your codex, you can see that he is an undiscovered enemy inside of there. And if you take a look at your map, you should be able to find an icon for him, but at the time of this video, he is not inside of our survival or expert mode worlds. And the only reason that I know that is because if you go into a creative world, you can spawn him as many times as you want. There's an icon at the top of the screen, as well as if you open up your map, you'll be able to see these white boxes. So he does have some sort of icon for him, we just haven't been able to see it yet. Now here's the moment that we've all been waiting for, and that is going to be our fight against Mask Maker Daigo. I did have to do this inside of the creative world, and you'll see a few things that aren't too great about the fight, but a lot of positives that have to do with it as well. Number one, while using these brand new pistols, while they do a lot of damage, I'm using the roll to try to do damage to Daigo, and it doesn't seem as though it's doing any damage to him. I don't know if that's because he's a mask maker and it doesn't do damage to other enemies that are similar to him, or why that's causing that issue. However, when it comes to all of the attacks that he's doing, it is pretty intense. And the first time that I fought him, I died, so thankfully this wasn't in my expert mode world, as it's only going to get harder. But when you fight him, he does his laser attack that we saw inside of Expeditions, as well as that ground attack and some sort of explosion that does a lot of damage to us. Every single one of his attacks does so much damage that you need to have a lot of food around with you to make sure that you can take him down, because these attacks are very difficult to dodge. Now, when it comes to the loot that he drops, he does drop a few corrupted crystals and a blue hammer, but I do hope that they update the loot pool for him and try to give us something a little bit better as far as him dropping some items. Nonetheless, this update really has only positive things about it. just with the exception of Mask Maker Daigo being bugged. As soon as that's fixed, I think that this was a very good update that gave us brand new materials, a brand new weapon and rune to test out, as well as a brand new enemy and even more storage. Not too many negative things to say about that. I understand everybody wants even more content, but for what we got, I think that this was pretty solid. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, guys, this was Crafty, and I'm out. Peace. Help me reach 50,000 subscribers by pressing that sub button in the top right. And if you guys haven't already, check out that video in the top left. YouTube thinks that you'll like it a lot. Peace.